If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs.
Left.
It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
End. Stairs, left, end, second floor. Got it.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
And before we go in, let's just have a quick... Hospital full. Due to influenza, the hospital can no longer take any patients. Hospital full. Go back home. Okay. So we're going to be busy. So I have to find my room, but before I do, maybe I should just wander around and get to know the lay of the land and the people. Hello?
Good evening, sir.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible times.
Do we know each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippett's, yes, I
So
remember.
it is. Well, this is Dr. Tippett.
I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
Let's not forget Vampyr. Okay, so... I have got one clue about him. I do have a clue about him, and I can find out the details. Now, the detail one was he is exhausting himself and refuses to stop working. So let's just start with the basic chit-chat. That one's unlocked because of the hint. Surely that would have been under personal things. Okay, let's just...
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
People are more important. I didn't have much of a choice. No, you know. Go where I'm needed.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people. It just lacks hope.
Okay, that's a little depressing.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Surely there's a little time for slander. I mean, just... because this is the second time I've heard a little negativity. But let's focus on the positive.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Ooh. That's going to get you in trouble. What about the management?
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office down again.
He does get out occasionally. Okay.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more unto the breach.
Dear friends. Your attitude is irresponsible. You have nothing to prove. Nurse Brannigan is worried about you. Should I say that? Yes, I should. You have nothing to prove. No, come on. She's a little... No, because that might She might come across as a bit of an interfering busybody and he might get annoyed. No, you've got nothing to prove, dude. Just...
You've nothing to prove, Dr. Tippett, to anybody. And we all praise your experience. Please, have some rest.
I am perfectly fine, and I am not too old for this job.
And I never said you were. I never said you were. Oh, right, fine. Hint required, hint required. I think we've exhausted absolutely everything. Yeah, alright, so he is exhausted and he will not take any good advice.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Which is a little unfortunate. Now that cabinet goes... Okay, has glass vials. Hello?
Good evening, Nurse Brannigan.
Good evening, Doctor.
Now, Tippett praises you.
Why does Dr. Tippett claim you're the main reason he keeps working, despite his fatigue?
If it wasn't for him, I probably would have left the Pembroke years ago.
Dr. Tippett does not think of you as just a nurse anymore, does he?
If you're suggesting he's not taking my gender into consideration when it comes to medical practice and knowledge, I really hope he doesn't.
Well, okay, you know what? I should have actually gone with she's worried about you. Shouldn't I?
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
Can I still talk to him about that and actually say, you know, oi, doctor, where is he? Whoa. He kind of got out of there remarkably quickly. All right, well, no, maybe we should actually just mention it to him. Just gonna keep
I thought last summer's epidemic.
checking around if there's anything
Capable of. It is now.
of interest. That's where I'm going. And you, sir, in the uniform.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Oh, interesting. Let's just, no, let's do the chit-chat.
How is the situation around here?
You want to hear the situation is all right? It's fucking awful. We lack everything, and it's getting worse every day.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much what I expected. I've got no hints about you.
So what do you do exactly in this hospital? Apart from smuggling guns, I mean.
I've been an ambulance driver since... too long, I guess. I bring sick people here night and day. It's a dirty job, but I get it done. Most of the time.
Most of the time.
It sounds like things have been a bit rough recently. What's happened?
Yesterday I got attacked by the patient I was bringing here. I escaped through the hospital's garden, but I lost my wallet when I was running.
You left an infected patient outside the hospital? That's incredibly dangerous.
Go there yourself if you want, but be careful, Doctor. I'd rather not bring your dead body back.
All right, fair enough. Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. All right, so I've got an investigation.
Since you're on the front line, how is the sanitary situation in this vicinity?
It's a complete disaster. It's even getting dangerous to enter some streets or buildings. Even the locals attack you.
All right. Let's
Are you
go.
really smuggling weapons through the hospital?
And why not? I've already been attacked by patients, you know. And by gang members willing to steal my money.
But you're not defending yourself. You're selling guns to civilians.
You keep people alive your own way, Doctor. I offer them another way to protect their health.
Okay. And no hints there. Okay.
I'd like to see your goods.
Curiosity?
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun is what everybody needs these days.
So I can buy pieces. And I have how much money? 28. So I can't buy much at the moment. Oh, I could buy aluminium powder. Now I need that for some things. Can I sell him stuff? I can't sell him any of that. I could sell him some of this stuff, but I'm thinking let's not. I can sell him bullets. And seeing as, to be honest with you, I'm just not impressed with the shooting. Might be worth doing, however... why won't it let me... Oh. Yeah, this sometimes is a tiny bit frustrating, this. Never mind. I don't think I was going to buy anything anyway. No, I...
Safer here than anywhere else in the East End.
Okay. So... Right. I think I've got a good understanding of what is going on outside here. Who is that? Okay. I would like to talk to the doctor again. No, can I? City, you. Life saved by efficient medical aid is a blow struck at the something flu epidemic. Volunteers make... Oh, okay. Doctor. Hello?
Good evening, Dr. Tibbets.
Look, seriously.
Dr. Reed, any good news to share?
Maybe. Look. No, wrong.
You're exhausting yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No. We must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more, unto the breach.
Dear
You've
friends,
nothing
once
to prove,
more.
Dr. Tibbets,
Oh, no.
to anybody.
No.
And we all praise your experience.
No.
Please, have some rest.
I am perfectly fine, and I am not too old for this job.
So I can't change... Oh! Alright, so don't
Goodbye, Dr. Tibbets.
try to guess, is the lesson learned here.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Yeah, so I need to not guess. I need to be sure of what I am doing. Now, I did... Oh, Milton Hooks. These are the investigations. Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. Enter the backyard garden. Alright. We'll do that later on. For now... Let's just... I'm going upstairs eventually, but... Oh! Hi.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
Okay. Your presence in William Bishop's den. Yeah, that's the main thing I'm curious about.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Why did... You're a hero or a fool? Why did he abduct you? For blood.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
Miss Hawcroft. Okay.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Alright. So yeah, you're brave. Yes.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Clay Cox is okay. Clay Cox. Interesting. Interesting. Pillar. Sean Hampton. What is this? Is this like Pillar is like the center of the whole thing? This is the person who is the most important. Okay, I didn't get any more hints though, but we do know that Clay Cox is a bad guy then.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Or was,
no.
I suppose.
I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
Alright. And...
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Okay.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Yeah, it does seem pretty miserable out there.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
Alright, not really very helpful then, are you? I mean... And... what do you do for a living? He's a priest, isn't he?
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the
I
cross
assumed
around
he was a
your neck.
priest.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Yeah, are you a priest?
Are you a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Okay. That's pretty much a priest, isn't it? I guess you have to go to school and get an official document to be a priest. Why not use your cross against William? Isn't that a little like, you do know William was a vampire kind of thing, right?
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Yeah, that was a strange question, was it not? How do you feel?
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel... empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
Right, here's the thing. I don't... You were bitten by William, who's a Skal. And don't know if that's like a vampire or a full-fledged vampire, or... Can you not contract it? Or do you have to actually die to then come back as... I guess I need to find out more about what it means to be a bloody vampire. Have you made friends since you arrived?
Have you made friends since you arrived?
But...
Not really. But I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke? Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
Alright, no, fair enough. I was going to say, he seems like the sort of person who'd visit anyway. Okay.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
The thing is... He told me a lot, but I didn't get any useful hints, which is a little unexpected. So who are these two? Hello.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. but they still call me Thomas Elwood.
Okay.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
I'm fine. Just do something for this pain, will you? That's all I'm asking.
I pressed the medical checkup thing, but I don't think there's anything I can do for him. I need to make something, right? I need to make something to be able to... Yeah, okay. I need to start crafting stuff. Something for the pain, it said. So I need to get a painkiller.
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Can I do anything?
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Okay, so I definitely need to find some way to treat his pain.
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Alright. Okay then. Did you... Right.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Yeah. Probably true.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Right.
Damn.
So...
Pain. It's here again.
And you are...
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
Okay. I mean... Yeah, okay. Chit-chat. Are you a patient here?
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howard?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Okay, you have enemies?
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
Garden near the morgue. All right, we're going to take care of you.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
Okay, wrong target. New investigation. We gotta ask. We gotta ask.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Have you ever heard of Cottard Syndrome? No, let's describe how you feel, first of all.
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
Okay.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cottard Syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul, or in your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty mortal. You can't even begin to understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
Little, yeah. Just a tiny bit. Thelma is affected by the Cottard Syndrome and believes she's a vampire. So I'm pretty sure she's not a vampire then, right? Would I know it or something? Oh. And she does have Thomas in her social circle, which makes sense. Yes, it does. Okay. And who are you really?
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
Oh, such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
All right, yeah, that was not helpful. So,
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
Time has lost its effect on me.
Okay.
But the suffering continues.
Okay. So, we have got a lot of interesting people here. And oh, you're dead, I assume. Otherwise, I'd be able to sense your heart. Okay. Is that?
Good evening, sir.
No.
I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansey's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Don't like you very much. Already? Do you have a problem with me? Yes.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansey has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Jealousy will not do you any good. You better change your tone. There is no need for animosity.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital, instead of a burden.
Okay. About the Pembroke Hospital. Yes.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansey, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Is he suggesting that the good doctor is... Waverly disapproves modern medicine methods. Okay, so he's not suggesting that he's doing some strange evil experiment in the basement with lightning and cackling. He's just saying he's doing things that he considers are not traditionally accepted. All right, okay, now that's a little different. So, yeah, I think you're a bit stuck in your ways, my friend. I have proved my value as a practitioner. Bad memories of your military service.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd.
Right. I've proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
I have saved many lives. Knowledge is our main weapon. No reason to justify my actions to you. I saved many lives. Yes, I did. Knowledge is our main weapon, but I saved many lives, I think.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
Don't like you at all. Blood transfusions. Saving lives.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Yes. You're definitely on my do not like list. And have we spoken?
What can I do for you,
Yes,
Doctor?
we have. It's you. Yes. Okay. Nothing.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
Let's. Okay.
Oh, sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
Okay. Hello?
Never could keep anything from her.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
Oh, yeah. I'm guessing it's the lad over there. All right. But I would tell me about yourself. Complaints about reception here. Personal questions. Maybe I should talk to the kid
Goodbye,
first.
Mrs. Goswick.
Really? All things. Is this?
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Have you been bitten? Have you been? How painful is your throat?
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
Okay, you must communicate. Is there anything I can... Personal questions? Tell me about... No. We must communicate. Oh.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
Shall I just let him rest and talk to his mother? Yeah, we need to talk. If you're gonna... You've got to tell me.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
How painful is your throat? You know what? Let's... Tell me about yourself. Could you do that?
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Yep. Okay, fine. Let's talk to the mother. Talk to the mother.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
He's got a throat wound. Did he try to slash his own throat or something? I just...
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Pretty bloody terribly.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Are you that rich? What are you doing in your life?
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Okay. And you're rich, then?
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes. Thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
All right, then. Any complaints about your reception here? That's an odd question to ask, but I'm going to do it anyway.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Oh, yeah, such social standing, really. Beatrice questions the Pembroke Hospital's efficiency. Before we talk to her about that, let's... Hint required. Okay, no, fair enough. Tell me about your arrival.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start.
True.
And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Ooh. So, who? Not her. One of the nurses. You. Pippa saves beds for patients who can pay. And, yeah, she charged you?
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
Right. I share your stupor.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
And it shall not be tolerated here. Was there anything... no, right. Your life in London... Right, no. So I need more information, then.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Okay, we'll be back to talk to you in a little while, young man. Yes, we will. I'm going to... Well, that's the... Where in it?
You always need a word.
That's Dr. Waverley. This is Dr. Unknown. Hello, Dr. Unknown.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Okay. We're liking him. We shouldn't do this. We shouldn't like people who are nice to us and dislike people who are not nice to us, because it could send us down the wrong path. But it is natural, isn't it?
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
Tell me about your experiments, yes.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Yeah, okay. No, that's true to some degree. But there are lines, there are limits. It's amazing what we've managed to justify with excuses like that. What made you choose that career?
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
Okay, research is exhausting. I'll be glad to help you. Yes, I will help you with your research, I think.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
That is true, I think. About the Pembroke Hospital,
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
You seem quite optimistic. Do you need my help?
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Okay, no, that seems fair enough. So go and have a word and get some ingredients. You seem quite optimistic.
You seem quite optimistic.
Doesn't he?
It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
No. Okay. Let's talk about Ackroyd's aversion for modern methods.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Right. Yeah. There was an option, wasn't there? Yes, to talk to him about jealousy. Okay. About your blood transfusion technique. Should I wait before discussing this and find out a little bit more about him? They've not been successful. I think maybe we hold off. I'm getting the feeling...
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
...that I'm traipsing around a little ill-informed.
I'm quite busy right now, Dr. Reed.
Yeah, I am. Your thoughts on Strickland's research? Okay, and what was the other one? No, okay, let's...
Tell me, Waverley, what do you think of Dr. Strickland's enthusiasm for his experimental research?
Strickland is playing with his patients' lives for pride and glory. Now that, sir, is unethical.
Are you thinking about something in particular?
Harvey Fiddick needs delicate surgery. I believe we should stick to the usual procedure, but my young colleague obviously disagrees.
Harvey Fiddick, is this rivalry blinding you? Why do you wish to lead this surgery? Yes.
Why do you wish to lead this surgery?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
It's a conservative point of view. That is. But you might be right. I don't know what the procedure is yet. You will assume the consequences? You're assuming he's going to be butchered. You're assuming he's going to be butchered, surely.
If you are going to lead this surgery, I'm trusting you to assume the consequences of your actions, whatever the result.
I'm not the kind of man who runs away from his responsibilities, Dr. Reed.
Okay, that's not quite
what I thought. There is no need for you to be looking over my shoulder.
Is your rivalry blinding you? Is it? Come on.
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. but I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Alright, okay, so you're saying it... Okay.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
So... yeah. No closer to understanding... What's that? Which of those two's got the right of it, if either. For all I know, it could be somewhere in between.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Right. So this is the bone of contention between these two doctors. Doctors are arguing about case. Just tell me about yourself first of all.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too.
All right.
But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Ah, I think I see where this is going. One of them wants to remove your arm, the other one wants to use an experimental technique to save your arm, but it could be dangerous. Tell me about the hospital.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
Yeah, probably a blood bad idea. Doctors are arguing about your case. Go on.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is, I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Right. Okay. Hint required. Okay, so I'll get back to you.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick.
I need to
see
find.
you later.
I need to find out a lot more about the situation. Okay, this is outside. We don't need to go there yet. Right, so that's the back. Have we spoken? This is yes. You're the young doctor. Right, so
Disgust on every street corner.
Is that the vampire lady?
Daily routine.
Yep, that's the vampire lady. Right. So, we've still got a lot more down here to check out. Yes, we do. What do we have here? Small bottles for our research and a door that leads outside. I'm going to stay in the hospital for now. Still trying to get the lay of the land before I go up to my office. My God, it's taking quite some time to get to my office, actually, isn't it? Hello?
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor.
Oh!
I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
Yes!
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
Yeah, you're the woman that's selling beds.
How would you describe the situation at the Pembroke Hospital?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients. We are running out of everything.
The Spanish flu won't last forever.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end, nobody was spared?
Okay, seriously, get a grip.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted. No one has any idea when this epidemic will be over.
All right. You've been a nurse for how long?
How long have you been a nurse?
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
Well, change your attitude. You would be surprised. We might. You never know. We need to try at least.
You'd be surprised what dedication can achieve, Nurse Hawkins. In medicine, sometimes we're just a test result away from a miracle.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I'm just trying to cheer you up, actually. How is the staff coping?
How is the Pembroke staff coping with the epidemic?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual, especially concerning doctors.
Why especially the practitioners? Why is Milton so grumpy?
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Oh. That sounded a little defensive, that did. That did sound a little defensive. Pippa said, right, social circle, and... Milton's reputation is mediocre amongst his colleagues. He probably doesn't like that. No, he probably doesn't.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
Because
I don't know. Just ask him. But be warned.
They look down on him.
Milton is not the chatty type.
You kidding me? Couldn't shut him up when I spoke to him. All right. So let's get to the important thing. Oh. Why can't I... Aren't you the one that's selling... Aren't you the one that's selling beds? I can't have a quick chat with you about that, can I? Okay.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
That's unfortunate because I really do feel like... Like, I'm going to loot everything now you've gone.
It's locked.
Oh. Okay. Long letter. There is a long letter. Birmingham, 27th of October. Hello, sis. How are things in the big city? Here in Brum, things are not so good. It seems the flu is here again and we have many new cases of infection in our neighbourhood. Do you remember Miss Scheller? The old drinking hag from the 3rd floor? She passed away 2 days ago and her flat is already occupied again. Geez, you would have to pay me a huge amount of money to go sleep in the bed in which a woman died of the flu just a few hours ago. Sorry I did not take time to quickly answer your last letter. Between taking care of little Paul, Mum, Dad, and my job at the factory, I rarely find time to write to my favourite sister. By the way, my son says hello to his Auntie Pippa. You should see the little bugger, already driving me mad. But Mum says you bring back some of those marvellous cakes next time you come back home. In your last letter, you told me you thought about quitting your job at Pembroke Hospital. I have to tell you, Pip, you better think twice. There are always jobs at the factory, but wages are shit, and it's boring as day without a shag. Oh, I have a new fiancé, and no, I'm no slut, you model bitch, you. So, if you really want to quit and do something more useful than counting the dead every morning, maybe you better stay in London and join that band you told me about. The Guard or Priven? Something like that. Never heard of them, but they sound like... If they are, like you said, some sort of civil militia trying to make a difference, then maybe it's a good choice for you. Just be sure to let the others go in front. And how my poor Billy... That's how my poor Billy got killed in France by leading too many patrols. Bloody war. Anyway, come back as soon as you can and give me all the good news before that. I am your affectionate sister, Lucy, Paul, Mum, and Dad. So... Not only is Miss Hawkins selling beds, she wants to join a group that would like to kill me.